Hey, what's up, everybody? So in today's video, I'd actually like to delve a little bit more into analysis once again. And the game that I'll be analyzing today will be Paladins. Essentially, it will be another 7 gameplay where I'll be going 21 and 1 on Frozen Guard. But the thing about this gameplay specifically is that it actually is one of my earliest iterations of playing this character, meaning that the overall skill that I bring to the table will not be as polished as potentially future videos, as well as essentially my peak of my 7 gameplay. I really want to go ahead and analyze this video specifically, mostly because it really showcases the power of Magdump, which many people overlooked back in the day, mostly because it seemed like in order to actually get the most use of it, you really had to just be up in people's face. And as much as that is true, there were many tools that you could use in order to legitimately close the distance, and a lot of people most likely didn't know how to use them to its maximum potential. With the right build, with the right approach, 7 was and most likely is the most OP flank, or one of the most OP flanks out there. Now I'll go ahead with the analysis and I'll show you guys what I mean. Let's go ahead and start this up. Now, starting from the get-go over here in Frozen Guard, I usually go for the right side, mostly because it's a perfect height vantage point over point. And most flanks in DPS should contest for this because, well, having this part will essentially guarantee that you will constantly have cover while constantly pressuring point enough for your tank to be able to push forward. Since I notice a lot of the characters are moving this way, I will anticipate and essentially bait them into thinking that they can challenge me from specific angles, whether it be through here, or through here. But with my superior movement, I'm able to do something as crazy as this. Pull back behind the Leon, pull her into me. Unfortunately, the physics of the game propelled her behind my character, so I couldn't finish her off with one clip. Realized that, well, now my back is turned to the entire enemy team, so I roll forward once again to get myself out of harm's way. Imani finishes off Vora, Genos essentially covers me, and then I get to get a full reset off of that team help. So Imani's doing some crazy work, killed the healer, killed one flank, and now the DPS, the tank, as well as another damage are pushing forward for height contesting. Now that essentially pushes Imani as well as the Genos back. Completely understandable as Imani is already relatively low, less than 50%. But now it's time for me to re-engage to essentially turn the tide of battle. Here I anticipate them moving forward through this little entranceway. They did not expect 7 to essentially just automatically place the bombs and move right behind them, so upon me doing so, they get exploded, visual clutter causes them to be completely discombobulated. I pull them, insta one clip willow, which leads to an instant death, and then for Leon, just a little bit of jumping and movement led to absolute obliteration of the two. Now, as we continue, we have already capped point, pretty much as there's pretty much no one else who's going to plan to contest. Anybody who's going to plan to contest will essentially move into me or the Imani, so full suppression there. Vora pulls up to me. Unfortunately, as you can see, I'm still a little bit new in regard to using 7's kit, so I'm a little bit slower on the draw. I honestly should have been able to kill Vora there and should have been able to shoot faster, but unfortunately my sensitivity was actually relatively slow. So I actually almost forgo the kill here. Vora is essentially one shot, and I wasn't exactly 100% confident in my initiation, so I pulled away, thinking that the rest of our team would be coming in. However, once I realized that Vora was essentially alone indefinitely, full push, pull with the grapple, and as you can see, despite people saying you need to get up in their face with Magdump, you really didn't to kill Vora. All I really need to do was pull and shoot a little. Tank challenge, I don't have deft hands, but I'm still able to 1v1 the tank. I essentially trusted my damage to see if they can kill the Inara, but unfortunately they were not able to kill her. She probably got a full reset off. Oh no, they killed her. They killed her. Kinda got her. Pretty good. Saris gets pushed. Sari gets destroyed. Leon does not recognize that she is in a peculiar situation, gets pulled instantly into a one clip, absolutely obliterated. Vor is now pressuring from behind, and Willow is pushing upwards, trying to see if she can make any plays or potentially just push us away from constantly holding this vantage point right here. Unfortunately, Seven's movement is able to close the distance, essentially making her bombs completely negligible. I pull Willow into a one clip. Willow gets insta-killed, obliterated. Now, I hear Vora coming in through this hallway. I anticipate Vora using her range attack to try and hit me, so I roll through it. I don't get hit at all. Vora gets exploded as she's essentially touches the proximity mine. Seven leaves, essentially when he first rolls. I use my grapple hook to pull Vora into my one clip, leading to an instant kill. Now I do notice Ceres and Inara and Leon are making their way once again to essentially try and suppress our push. A little bit of damage on Inara just to ensure that she doesn't get the upper hand on Khan. Instantly kill the Ceres. I'm not sure what the Willow was doing here, but I assume they gave up for the time being and decided to just try and touch, but that didn't really do much. I pull back with my Furia. Imani's doing work on the front. Khan holds Inara for me to spray her down. Really good play by the Khan there. Good teamwork. I push up to try and suppress the Vora. Honestly, there, I should have rolled forward and trusted that my healer would be able to get me with a burst heal, as my healer was able to. I definitely would have been able to kill Vora before Ceres got here to pocket heal her. So just another thing to note that, as you can see, my confidence with this character is not at its peak yet, especially at this point in time, but it's a perfect example of showcasing how potent his build as well as his kit was, especially when you approached it the right way, specifically with his Mag Dump. Now we're going to go again, and I'm most likely going to push once again for the height advantage on the right side, which I do. I anticipate them to push it once again to contest for height. Now, this is interesting because the Leon knows I'm here as well. Leon goes for the ulti, thinking that that will essentially change the course of the battle, but unfortunately the 1v1 is not 100% dictated by a Leon ult, as it only does more than 4/5 of my HP, which isn't enough to kill me, but, well, was enough to make me super weak and panic a little bit, but still killed her in the end. Went for ult here, try to get Ceres and the Inara. Got Ceres. Inara definitely had CC reduction, so Inara instantly got out of it, but Ceres wasn't. Inara thought she'd have the heals and tried to retreat the way Ceres was, but unfortunately ran straight into my trap. Now, I know the Vora's back here. Vora's trying to pressure. Vora realizes it's not worth it. GG. Now the Leon is once again back, trying to essentially do what she can. Khan kills her. Willow is trying to make a play. Willow dies to the Khan as well. I pull forward knowing that Ceres or anybody who's pressuring from the back line will most likely be centered around where Inara is backing up to. So I wait a second and then I peek. I notice Ceres has her back completely turned to me, which leads to an instant pull into a Magdump. Instant dead. Inara can't hold it by herself, however, she is constantly damaging me, so I will continue to reposition, heal up a little bit. Willow and Leon are up there, but this is when I realized my Khan and my Genos forward push was completely nullified, and I realized the Vora was actually going in for the ult kill on me. I kill Vora, but unfortunately Willow had reached for the Sky's ult active, so she just immediately was able to see wherever I was and completely suppress my push, despite killing the ulting Vora. But at the same time, the other team wasted 2 ults to kill me, as well as the front push, and we already capped point twice, so wasn't too big of an issue. Went ahead and bought, what did I buy? Life Rip and Haven for more 1v1 potential and survivability overall, but we still have a minute 55 left on the push. Let's see how we go. So that's pretty much in regard to us pushing forward. Willow gets suppressed completely because she's pushed up and inting. Vora tries to push the Amani, but unfortunately I'm here to suppress the Vora, pull the Vora, and oh, Amani actually does die to the Vora, but I do end up killing the Vora in her place. Get the Saris insta-gibbed. Leon is pushing upwards, doesn't know Saris is dead. Saris and Leon are now dead. Now this is going to be interesting as I'm solo pushing the cart. But Fury is right behind me. I full greed this knowing that other people are still working on being rezzed and spawn. So I full push Willow, kill Willow after getting a pull and a one clip. Vora comes back from the dead to try and challenge me. Unfortunately, I did not want to take the risk of spending too much time in the 1v1 duels, so I go for the ult, fear Vora. Saris tries to get out of spawn to pocket heal her, but it's not enough because my burst damage is insane. I pull back, wait a second. Leon is trying to touch. Unfortunately, she gets pulled to 1 HP. Now Leon tries to get pocket healed by Saris, but Imani is already ulting with her dragon, which leads to a ridiculous amount of pressure, which Leon and Saris with no ult can't really work with. So I pull up, follow Leon, full send, kill her. Vora gets insta-gibbed by my Magdump and the dragon, and then it's an easy victory for our team. In this game, I pretty much go 21-1, but it really does showcase the power of 7 when you approach it the right way. Because as you can see, there wasn't really any crazy optimization tricks or flicks or tracking that really showcased crazy gameplay. It truly was revolving around his overall build. And I feel like there are a lot of people that actually have never seen a really good 7. Well, that's the thing. In order to be a really good 7, not only do you have to have the right build, but you also have to get the general idea of how to approach combat with him, because he's not necessarily always able to stay up on point and be just a constant threat, nor is he the best at being a constant sniper, as his burst damage with his burst mode isn't exactly the best. He essentially is truly the definition of an assassin. Play him slow, play him well, get a little flicks in, and he will be an absolute juggernaut. And as you can see, even without the flicks, even without the optimization tricks, even playing it ultra slow and playing it relatively well new, I was still able to get 21-1 compared to everybody else with a 58,000 damage and a massive gap in between the other person who was doing quite a bit as well, which was 39k on the Amani, which, I still gapped by over 20,000 damage. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for the analysis. Just wanted to throw it out there and showcase how powerful 7 was back in the day. I never really wanted to go in depth into showcasing this because I assumed this would be like a secret meta that not a lot of people would use. But now that it's all gone and, well, kind of nerfed, but still relatively usable, I think it would be best to share as much as possible and to showcase Seven's crazy overpowered potential back in the day, because I found it so interesting to be able to find a character at that level but not be nerfed in the way that I thought he would until 2 years later. But anyways, guys, thank you so much once again for taking the time to watch. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It would really help me out in the long run. Thanks, guys, and have a fantastic night. Peace out, everybody.